As you can see by the title, um, it's probably easier to just start smoking crack. Now, obviously, I'm kind of playing around, I'm kind of messing around. Obviously, I'm not gonna smoke crack. I don't even know where to get that from. But what I mean by that is we spend so much of our lives trying to figure out our lives. We spend so much of our day planning out our day. We spend so much of our time focusing on what's our next move, how can we improve, how can we get ahead, and we never, or at least we don't usually, just sit and enjoy the moment and appreciate life for what it is, and appreciate it as this once in a lifetime thing that we get to experience, because we have so much things we have to worry about, so much worldly things we have to focus on that, you know, that are placed upon us, sometimes even forced upon us, that we have to pay attention to and give, our time to. So we don't really get to enjoy the life or enjoy life itself. We're just living and surviving. I don't think we take into account how special this life can be. And it makes me think about the people who just, say F it, forget everything. I'm going to just start smoking crack. And they don't care about nothing besides crack, obviously, but they're not worried about the things, me and you are worried about. They're not worried about, you know, their future or whatever. They're literally just living life and experience life in the most raw way possible. And the most raw, you know, unapologetic, almost almost how life is not supposed to be, but how life would be if we just stripped away everything that society placed on us. And while, me and you, we go through our days through the hustle and bustle, they spend their day just searching for that next high to escape to that realm that they seem to love so much. Now, this is not to bash anybody because, you never know somebody's situation or what they're going through. But some people are just, at least what I think, some people are just tired of, you know, the life, not life itself, but the things you have to put up with, go through, and experience. And most of it is not by choice. So they just said, you know what, I'm done, I'm finished. I'm gonna just smoke crack until my last days, until, it take me away. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's right, but who am I to say that's wrong? I wouldn't advocate for that. I wouldn't support that. But I also wouldn't condemn that. I wouldn't condemn somebody for choosing that life, especially if that's a life they choose. Because this life does get tricky. It does get tricky. Because you will see somebody who has it all on the outside, but inside they are tired. They are tired. They are done. They're fed up with everything. They're fed up with having to put so much time and effort into, paying for stuff and keeping stuff they don't even care about. But but it's almost like you don't care about it, but the outside opinions and the outside views forces you to keep up this image, keep up this facade. And I believe a lot of us, are living in a facade. A lot of us are wearing a mask. A lot of us, we smile, but there's not a smile behind that face. There's not a glimpse of life behind those eyes. And some people just get tired of it. Some people just get tired of it. And, they look for that escape. They look for those ways to escape reality. Because sometimes reality does feel like hell on earth for a lot of people. And those who not feeling the fire is because they probably screwing over a lot of people. But hey, I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to share my experiences within this world, with this life. Because everybody has their own experience with this life. Everybody has their own road and lane that they, travel. I was going to say choose to travel, but not all roads are chosen. Some are just mandatory. Everybody has their own perspective of life, their own way they view this reality. And some people are they're just fed up with it. They're just fed up with it. Now, I'm not at the point of my life where, I just want to give up on everything. I mean, it was many points in my life where I was tired, and I'm like, okay, it gotta be something. It gotta be something to this. It gotta be something better. I was to that point, but I'm not to the point where I'm like, I don't love life itself, because I do love life itself, but it's not perfect, and I understand that. It's not fair, and I understand that. But, I try to make it work to the best of my ability, and so does millions of other people who just deal with it day to day, because what else other choice do we have, So I understand people need that escape, or looking for that escape. And sometimes once you escape, they don't want to come back. But fortunate for me, I've decided, to be sober. I've taken the sober route. There's plenty days, I'll trust me, there's plenty days I love to go back to my old ways, and, just forget about my reality for an hour or two, and wake up with a headache, then do it all over again. But, I'm just still trying to push through. But yeah, it gotta be easier just to smoke crack and just to say, bro, forget all of this. I'ma just smoke crack. Like, it takes a lot to get to that point. So for you to get to that point, man, I can't even say nothing. I can't even fault you. Like, I could offer my assistance, but, and if it is needed, but for you to get to that point, like, man, for just throwing a towel and just say, man, I'm gonna just smoke crack, dog. Like, it gotta be. It's a hard way of living, but it's also gotta be an easy way to living, because you don't really have nothing to worry about no more. You're experiencing life in its raw form. In its raw form. Almost how it was supposed to be experienced. If, we had better human beings, that didn't like to take advantage of other human beings and, enslave them and, manipulate and you you know the rundown. You know the rundown. But yeah, but yeah. Drugs are bad. Oh, don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. But also, let's not judge because you never know somebody's situation. But I do advocate for sobriety. So if that's something, you know, you may be interested in, I would, I would highly, you know, support that. I highly support that. But yeah, I, I don't know why I decided to make this video. You know, I just have random thoughts in my mind, and I was like, yo, I'm just, I'm just laying in bed. I'm like thinking about my future, thinking about my life, thinking about my next move, thinking about what I'm gonna do 24 hours from now. Thinking about so much things and how to elevate and improve my life and a better living situation. I'm like, bro, it's just so much constant trying to self improve. I'm like, bro, it'll be better if I just smoke some crack and just say, bro, F everything, bro. I'm done. Like it'll be way easier. It'll be way easier, but I'm fighting the lonely fight of, you know, keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. So that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. But yeah, just keep fighting the fight. Just keep fighting the fight. It ain't easy. It'll never be easy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It'll never be easy. It's not meant to be easy, but you can find some beauty in this world. It is possible. It is possible to find the bright side. But I'm rambling, but anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all. You know, I love y'all. Shout out for y'all for supporting me. Shout out to y'all for supporting me. And yeah, thank you.